Last month, I discovered a strategy that 200x'd how many people see my content. It boosted my email list by up to 20%, and it's constantly bringing in coaching leads every day on autopilot. So now let's talk about what this strategy is, the unique way I'm using it to 200x my results, and the 5 ChatGPT prompts that I use to set this up in only 2 hours a month. So first, will this work for you? And the answer is with no hesitation, yes. This will work for any YouTube channel. In fact, I initially got inspired by a basketball channel because I'm a big basketball fan. So one day I saw something and I said, this is interesting. And I added my own twist to it. So I initially got inspired by an entertainment channel, which technically is very different from what we do as coaches. So yes. So last month I was working on a very long deep dive video, and it took a few days to prep, a few days to shoot, a few days to edit. I put a lot into this video, so it took a long time. And so during that time, I didn't post on my channel for a few weeks. And I expected during that period for everything to stall and die down. My subscribers, my views, my leads, I expected everything to slow down significantly. But funny thing, the opposite happened. After a few days of, no activity, I woke up one day and I saw two new subscribers. And I didn't really get new subscribers. Like I said, this is a tiny channel, a brand new channel. So usually I get subscribers right when I post a video and the few days following. And then after that, it kind of slows down. But for some reason, I would wake up to a few subscribers today, tomorrow, a few more, the next day, a few more, and it started growing faster than even when I was posting videos, which was weird because I've been posting videos weekly since the beginning of this channel, and I never got this type of momentum. So I was looking to figure out, okay, what the hell is happening here? And another thing is my email list started growing. So that's when I said, okay, what is happening here? It's not random. It's not, I can't see one video popping off. I'm trying to figure out where this is coming from, and I couldn't figure it out. And eventually I looked and I said, what? So look at the noticeable difference in impressions before and after I started using that strategy. So what is this strategy? So imagine Instagram, Threads, and X or Twitter all in one. On YouTube, we call that community posts. So there are different types of posts within a community post. All right, so that gives you a lot of flexibility. Also, one thing I forgot is you can post a video or a playlist from your own channel. So if you just published a certain video on your channel, you can say, hey, this video is going to help you with this, go check it out. Boom. So one day, as I said earlier, I kept seeing many polls from a basketball channel that I watched. And the questions would be so simple. They would be like, if you know anything about basketball, it would say, here's player 1 and player 2. Which one is the best player? Or who would you take if you had to make one shot to save your life? Or some, stuff like this. So it's very simple for someone to just click and interact. And that's an engagement. And those posts were getting hundreds of thousands of responses. And which is crazy because he does not even get 100,000 views on each video. Now you have 100,000 people responding and interacting with your content. And what happens when somebody interacts with your content? They get shown more because they have shown interest. So it is reaching so much more people and the competition is so low. I thought, how can I make this better? He is using image polls, and I can see how images will outperform just text, okay? So I said, okay, I'm gonna test this for myself. I have a theory. I'm gonna test this out. So for at least 30 days, I'm going to be posting one of each of those 3 types. I'm not gonna do image post. I'm not gonna do text posts. I'm gonna do text polls, okay? Because the poll in itself is easy to interact with, whereas just a text post will require someone to sit and read and absorb the value, but they can absorb the value and never interact with it. So I figured, okay, the poll will need somebody to actually take an action, interact with my channel, which is a positive sign to YouTube. Number 2, I would post image polls. So text polls, image polls, and quizzes. Quizzes are literally a question different answers, and once they've answered, they get revealed my thoughts or what the correct answer is and whatever I want to put in there. But also, I wanted to add more value to this because the polls are great, but they don't provide much value because you're just answering a question and you just get to see what everybody else thought, but it doesn't provide any value. So after 30 days, what I noticed was image polls were getting about 2, 3, or even 4. Literally the maximum response that I got or interaction or someone who actually answered the poll was about 3 to 4 people per post, per image poll. And the same for text polls, maybe even worse, maybe 1 or 2 people. But quizzes had 20 to 30 people. And so you can imagine, I evenly distributed all of those posts and I can see, okay, 2, 3, 20, 3, 4, 30. So when I actually sorted it out by the amount of interactions, all of them, the top 10, 15 that had the most interactions were all quizzes. So me wanting to be a good business owner and making database decisions, I said, okay, cool. I'm gonna go all in with quizzes. But I wanted to add my own little twist to it. When you answer a quiz, so let's say someone asks, which is more important for success on YouTube? And I say views or subscribers, and you say subscribers are more important. I would have an explanation that would give you a valuable answer where you feel like you have learned so much because you clicked on this post. I wanted to give every person who interacted with one of my posts to feel like they must click on my next poll. Because when you have a quiz, technically, it could be because I am doing research for me. So you feel like you're giving, you don't feel like you're receiving. But if I actually give you an explanation that is very valuable and teaches you something and teaches you why, you feel like, okay, you're doing this for you. You're gaining something by clicking on this. So I'm no longer selling, you're coming to receive from me. So this is great. So I figured, okay, first, I want to make sure I'm providing a lot of value. So I'm going to give a thoughtful answer at the end of all of my quizzes, okay? So they can feel like they have to come back next time they see one of my posts or quizzes. And number 2, eventually a few weeks later, I thought, I could literally put this on steroids by even adding one of my videos that I have answering that question as a resource, as an addition to the valuable answer I've provided. So this is exactly what I started doing. So I would say subscribers are not as important as views because of this. I would teach them why. And then I would say, hey, I also have a video on this topic explaining exactly why subscribers no longer matter on YouTube, okay, for YouTube success. And I would put the link to this video. So imagine that person just got told what they thought was not correct. Now I'm telling them, hey, there's a video where I go in depth on this topic. They are more likely to click on it. Okay, so that's why even my views started going up. So what happened was, after I started implementing this strategy, literally from one day to the next, getting about 10, 11 impressions in one day, and the next day went up to 2,857 impressions. And it never looked back from there. I have averaged over 2,000 impressions per day ever since, from one day to the next. And that's not all. Eventually, I figured, hey, okay, if I can get this many people to actually head to my videos just from this strategy, what if I try this for my offer or my freebie or my waitlist? As I'm working on creating a program, I have a waitlist for people who want to be notified when it's ready. I started putting all those links there and everything started growing when I started implementing this. So I thought, whoa, this is crazy. I have to share this with you guys. So I hope you do see the value in this and you take advantage of it. And the crazy thing is, your call to action is literally positioned as a solution. So you're not looking like you're salesy or you're, making too much of a demand. You're positioning it as, hey, here's why you're wrong. here is the explanation, and here is how I can help you even more. And if you actually have something that will help that person, it is your duty to make it known to them, because you're doing them a disservice if you have something that actually will help them and you're not telling them about it. But there was still one big problem. Initially, my posts were still quite broad, so I started noticing a lot of the comments, a lot of the channels subscribing to me were actually not my ideal client avatar. So what I did was I started implementing what's called the dog whistle marketing method, which is a dog whistle is a whistle that when you blow it, nobody can hear it except for the dogs. So I started doing the same thing on my posts. I started every post with coaches, consultants, or even course creators, and then I would ask my questions or say what I needed to say. So that would do two things. That will only attract those people that feel like they are coaches, consultants, and course creators, and repel everybody else. And yes, I want that. And yes, that also means I will get less interactions initially. So that also happened to Alex Hormozy, who's one of the biggest entrepreneurs on YouTube right now. He did something similar. He said, I'm only going to be talking to only those people that I want to work with. And he expected his views to dramatically drop. But something unexpected happened. He actually got a lot more subscribers because of it. So even though his views might have gone down, the percentage of those viewers who subscribed to his channel went up significantly. And so that means his subscriber count actually went up, and eventually led to him getting even more views. So he actually has grown by focusing and talking to less people. If you're a coach, consultant, or a course creator, and you're trying to use YouTube to attract your ideal clients and you have not been able to see results, I would love your help. I'm currently working on creating a new program, and I'm doing some market research to find out exactly what you need. I'm looking to speak to some of you over the next week or so. There's nothing to sell, just a quick 30-minute call with me so I can learn more about you, what you're trying to accomplish, your frustrations, what's holding you back, so I can find out how I can better bridge that gap. I would really appreciate your time, so if you're interested, please click on the link below so you can book a call with me. Now, here are the 5 ChatGPT prompts that I use to set this up in only 2 hours a month. And you can put that into whatever AI tool of your choice. It could be ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude.ai. So you're gonna say first, you are a, and then you're gonna put your niche, expert with over 20 years of experience. I am now going to give you some information about my coaching business in order for you to help me create some community posts for my YouTube channel. Are you ready? Number 2, my transformation statement is, and then you're gonna paste that in, I help your ideal client achieve desired result. All right, you're gonna fill those out without, and then you're gonna put the thing they don't want to do or they want to avoid. And then you're gonna tell it, now I'm going to send you my ideal client avatar information before we get started. The reason I keep saying this is because I don't want it to start working and doing things. We want it to just be in reception mode. All right, I'm going to feed it some information, and then later we will ask it to create some posts. So number 3, in the next chat, you're gonna provide it with your client avatar. So you're gonna say, my client avatar is, boom. Now you're going to give it the name. You know, you should have a name for your ideal client avatar, demographic, psychographic, their goals, their challenges, their pain points, what they're struggling with, etc. Everything about your ideal client that you know of. And if you don't know, also use AI or ChatGPT to ask to help. Tell them what you do, who you're looking to help, and ask them to ask you some questions to help you come up with your ideal client avatar. So you can have a document literally with everything about that person, so you can clearly know who you're talking to, which will make a big difference with everything else going forward. Number 4, now I want you to create a simple text, poll, or quiz, whatever you want, post for me before creating more. Include, and then you're gonna add some details of what do you need in that post. So for example, if you wanted to create a text poll, you would say, I would request a question and 4 possible answers. So I would say, include a question and 4 possible answers. Boom, you're done. But if you're creating a quiz, I would request a question, 4 possible answers, 1 being correct, and an explanation of the correct answer. Once you do that, you're gonna review what it sends to you, and if you like it, you will say then number 5, great. Now create 20 more posts like this for me, please. If it's a quiz, say, great, now create 20 more quizzes like this for me, please. Initially, I think I set it up for about 46 days before I got tired. So let's say you're creating 30 posts for the month. You'll likely have 10 quizzes, 10 text polls, and 10 image polls. Now remember, you are not going to rely on ChatGPT 100%. You remember, this is an assistant to you. It's not doing everything for you. You are still going to need to review and edit the information that it provides to you, all right? It hasn't gotten to the point where 100% of it is everything you would know, all right? We'll get there eventually, but we're not there yet. So whatever it sends back to you, you're going to read it and edit and change the philosophy, because a lot of posts that it provided to me, I didn't agree with. So I had to change a lot of those things. Like, subscribers actually don't matter as much as you would think. This is my philosophy. That's my thoughts based on what I'm seeing on YouTube, all right? ChatGPT might not have all that information and the reasoning behind everything I say. So I have to train it on what I like. And as an added benefit, you remember I told you my quizzes were outperforming every other post by a lot? Well, now my image polls, my text polls are actually performing a lot better because of that traction that my channels has gotten. So now when I post a text poll or an image poll, it's getting a lot more interaction than it did before. I don't recommend focusing completely on quizzes, though they are the best performing for me at this moment, because the others are starting to now pick up steam. For now, if you want to see the new sales funnel the big boys are starting to use now on YouTube to convert viewers to clients, check out this video. It's a deep dive where I cover every single part of the process if you want to start attracting high-paying coaching clients on autopilot for years to come.